Jai Hind, dear students of class 12th. Welcome in geography class once again. And today I am going to start Unit 3, 7, chapter number 7 from Book 2, India, People and Economy, Mineral and Energy Resources. The mineral and energy resources is not new for you. You have already studied all these things in your class 10 geography. Can you recall it now? Yes. We are going to discuss about the minerals and energy resources which are available in our country in detail now. We know that India is endowed with a rich variety of mineral resources due to its varied geological structure. As we know that India, the present shape of India is formed in different geological past. As you can say, peninsular part is the oldest landmass. You can say Himalaya is younger. Northern plain formed after the Himalayas. So, due to the geological structure which have been formed in different ages, because of the differences in geological structure, there are varieties of minerals available in our country. Bulk of the valuable minerals are products of pre-Paleozoic age. जो हमारे यहाँ अधिक से अधिक मिनरल जो मिलता है इसका प्रोडक्ट है प्री पैलोजोइक एज. एक एज था इसका नाम रखा गया था प्री पैलोजोइक एज and are mainly associated with metamorphic and igneous rocks of peninsular India. Generally called peninsular plateau is the storehouse of minerals. Peninsular plateau is called a storehouse of minerals, especially the Chota Nagpur plateau region. Overall, peninsular plateau is the oldest landmass, and north of Narmada River, the peninsular plateau is called Central Highland, and the easternmost or the eastward extent of the Central Highland is called Chota Nagpur Plateau, which contains almost all the metallic mineral deposits of India. So, plateau is really rich in minerals, having metamorphic and igneous rocks, and the vast alluvial plain tract of North India that is really devoid of minerals of economic use. नॉर्थ इंडिया में हमारे यहाँ मिनरल डिपोजिशन इस तरह से नहीं है कि उसका इकोनॉमिकली प्रॉफिटेबली इस्तेमाल किया जा सके. The mineral resources provide the country with necessary base for industrial development. As sometime we are discussing, what is the role of peninsular plateau in making the economy of India, in growth of progress of India? Simply, peninsular plateau has a crucial role in the process of industrialization because in industrialization we need minerals and minerals are coming from the peninsular plateau region. Northern plain, no doubt it is devoid of any significant deposit of minerals, but it is also important for us as it provides maximum food grains. It is known as granary of the country. In this chapter, we will discuss the availability of various types of mineral and energy resources in the country. What is a mineral? Very first question arises here. What is a mineral? A mineral is a natural substance of organic or inorganic origin with definite chemical and physical properties. What is a mineral? A mineral is a natural substance of organic or inorganic origin with definite chemical and physical properties. A geologist believes that the organic substances like fossil fuels, in geography for sake of convenience, we consider them as mineral, but in geologists, they believe only the substance which have been formed by inorganic process are called only the minerals. But here in geography, we are taking this definition only. A mineral means it is a natural substance of organic or inorganic origin with definite chemical and physical properties. Further, we will discuss the types of minerals resources. On the basis of the chemical and physical properties, minerals may be grouped under two main categories of metallics and non-metallics, which may further be classified. Metallic minerals further classified as minerals into two parts, metallic minerals and non-metallic minerals. Then metallic minerals is classified as ferrous minerals. Ferrous minerals means those minerals which contain iron in them, like manganese, is called a ferrous mineral. Second category of metallic mineral called non-ferrous, like the copper, bauxite, etc. And the non-metallic minerals, they are again grouped into two: fuel mineral like coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. And second category is other non-metallic like mica, limestone, graphite, etc. So we are going to discuss all in detail in this lesson. As it is clear that we have discussed minerals, what is a mineral? It is a naturally occurring substance formed either by organic or inorganic process having definite chemical and physical property. Minerals further divided into metallic and non-metallic. So we are going to discuss about these minerals availability in our country. Iron ore, copper, gold produce metal. Iron ore, copper, gold produce metal and are included in this category. Which category? Metallic minerals. Metallic minerals are further divided into ferrous and non-ferrous. I have discussed already. Ferrous, as you know, it can refer to the iron, manganese. All those minerals which have some iron content in them are called ferrous, and those which do not have any iron content are non-ferrous. Likewise, the non-metallic minerals, either organic in origin like fossil fuels, or other type of non-metallic minerals like mica, limestone, graphite, etc. Minerals have certain characteristics. मिनरल्स की विशेषता क्या होती है, मेन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या होती है, इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो. वेरी फर्स्ट, minerals have certain characteristics. Number one, these are unevenly distributed over the space. It is right. All the minerals are not found in equal quantity everywhere. Some regions are rich in minerals, some regions are poor in minerals. It means these are unevenly distributed over the earth surface. Second, there is inverse relationship in quality and quantity of minerals. That is, good quality minerals are less in quantity as compared to low quality minerals. अच्छे क्वालिटी का मिनरल कम है और जो लेसर जिसकी क्वालिटी थोड़ी डाउन है, लो क्वालिटी बोलते हैं, उसकी क्वांटिटी ज्यादा है. And the third main characteristic is that all minerals are exhaustible over time. Once you utilize the minerals, we can't regain back. These are non-renewable. These take long to develop geologically. Million and billion of years it requires to reform once again. And they cannot be replenished immediately at the time of need. ऐसा नहीं है कि आयरन और यूज करते जा रहे हैं इंडिया में, अपनी जरूरत के अलावा हम लोग बहुत सारा आयरन और एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं जापान, कोरिया, यूरोपियन नेशंस को. जब खत्म हो जाएगा तो हम लोग के चाहने से कुछ ही दिनों में ये फिर से रिजर्व तैयार नहीं हो पाएंगे, आयरन और नहीं आ पाएगा. It is also right. It takes geologically takes million of years to reform. They have need to be conserved and not misused. It is important. They have to be conserved. अगर minerals non-renewable है, okay, we are having use, we need to utilize them, but we have to utilize judiciously in that manner that they can meet the demand of present generation as well as of our future generations too. So we have to utilize minerals in a sustainable manner to sustain life forever. जिंदगी हमेशा धरती पे चलती रहे, मिनरल्स अवेलेबल रहे सभी जनरेशंस को, इसके हिसाब से हम लोग को इस्तेमाल करना होगा. एंड दे हैव टू बी कंजर्व. सबसे पहले कंजर्वेशन का जो कॉन्सेप्ट आया मिनरल कंजर्वेशन का, वो आया था क्लब ऑफ रोम. द क्लब ऑफ रोम हैव published one book called Limits to Growth by Dolena Meadows. In that book, they have explained Earth is like a spaceship having all the resources in a more or less fixed quantity, need to be utilized judiciously. Otherwise, like the spaceship is there, if resources exhausted from spaceship, the person who are with the spaceship will die. Likewise, on the Earth, we are having all resources, but we need to conserve, because without conserving them, we can't provide all these resources to our future generation. So from this book, Limits to Growth, विकास की सीमाएं हैं, they have given one slogan, we have to oppose blind development. उन लोगों ने कहा हम लोगों को अंधे विकास का विरोध करना है, but साथ ही साथ उन्होंने कहा वी हैव नॉट टू अपोज डेवलपमेंट ब्लाइंडली। इसीलिए जब से ये क्लब ऑफ रोम की बुक पब्लिश हुई लिमिट्स टू ग्रोथ, तब उस समय के बाद मिनरल कंजर्वेशन के ऊपर ध्यान गया और सबसे बढ़िया जो तरीका है दैट इज द सस्टेनेबल वे टू यूटिलाइज मिनरल टू कंजर्व इट एंड नॉट टू मिस यूज एज डू नॉट हैव द सेकेंड क्रॉप। कोई क्रॉप तो है नहीं कि आज यूज कर लिया फिर कल तैयार हो गया। Now we are going to discuss about the distribution of minerals in India. Most of the metallic minerals in India occur in peninsular plateau region in the old crystalline rocks. Over 97% of coal reserve occur in valley of Damodar, Son, Mahanadi, Godavari. You know Damodar is also known as Damodar coal basin. Petroleum reserves are located in sedimentary basin of Assam, Gujarat, and in offshore area Mumbai High near in the Arabian Sea. The largest crude oil petroleum producing area in India is the Mumbai High. It is offshore. समुद्र के अंदर है, अरबियन सी में है, किनारे से बहुत दूर है. New reserves have also been located in Krishna, Godavari and Kaveri basin. Most of the major mineral resources occur to the east of a line linking Mangaluru and Kanpur. Most of the major mineral resources occur to the east of a line linking Mangaluru and Kanpur. अगर इन दोनों को जोड़ा जाए उसके, especially we are talking about Chota Nagpur Plateau region. Minerals are generally concentrated in three broad belts of India. We are going to discuss about the three broad belts where minerals are found in our country. There may be some sporadic occurrences here and there is isolated pockets are also in these belts, but there are three major belts where minerals are found in our country. We are going to discuss one by one. Listen first, the northeastern plateau region. Number one, the northeastern plateau region. It covers Chota Nagpur plateau of Jharkhand especially and Odisha, West Bengal and parts of Chhattisgarh. चार राज्य हैं जहां पे छोटा नागपुर प्लेटू का एक्सटेंशन है. झारखंड मुख्य है, ओडिशा, वेस्ट बंगाल और छत्तीसगढ़. Have you ever thought about the region of major iron and steel industry being located in this region? Very simply, because it is the region where Damodar drains and Damodar region is full of coal, metallurgical coal, as well as iron ore is also available there. So both the raw material for iron and steel industry is heavy, so difficult to carry away from that place. So all these iron and steel industry called integrated iron and steel plants are located in this region because of the availability of coal and good quality iron ore, as well as manganese is also available there. Side by side limestone is also available there. So all the raw materials are available. So obviously availability of all these resources needed for development of iron and steel industry, it has given the boost to this industry here. It has variety of minerals as I have told you like iron ore, coal, manganese, bauxite, mica, etc. Second, the southwestern plateau region. This belt extends over Karnataka, Goa and contiguous Tamil Nadu, upland and Kerala. This belt is rich in ferrous metals and bauxite. What is bauxite? Yes, bauxite is the ore of aluminium. It also contains high grade iron ore, especially in Karnataka. The Kudremukh mine contains magnetite, the best quality iron ore, and it is a 100% export unit. यहाँ से निकला हुआ सारा का सारा मैग्नेटाइट यूरोपियन देशों को भेजा जाता है. These belts packs in coal deposits except navally lignite mines. पर यहाँ कोल की कमी है. केवल एक तमिलनाडु में नवेली लिग्नाइट कोल भी बहुत तरह का होता है. बेस्ट क्वालिटी एथ्रासाइट, सेकंड बेस्ट क्वालिटी बिटुमिनस, थर्ड पे आता है लिग्नाइट और वर्स्ट क्वालिटी जो सबसे बेकार होती है उसको बोलते हैं पीट, सड़ी हुई लकड़ी. तो लिग्नाइट जो थर्ड ग्रेड कोल है इसकी कैलोरीफिक वैल्यू बहुत लो है. ये अवेलेबल है नेवेली कोल माइन इन तमिलनाडु. This belt does not have diversified mineral deposits as the northeastern belt. नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न बेल्ट में बहुत सारे मिनरल्स हैं. केरला हैज डिपॉजिट्स ऑफ मोनेसाइट एंड थोरियम, bauxite, clay, etc. The monazite sand contains thorium in them. Goa has iron ore deposits. गोवा में बहुत सारे आयरन और डिपॉजिट मिलते हैं इन कॉन्टिजियस बेल्ट फ्रॉम रत्नागिरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र टू गोवा एंड फ्रॉम मारमागांव पोर्ट ऑल these ores are exported to European countries. The northwestern region, these belts along Aravalli in Rajasthan and parts of Gujarat and minerals are associated with धारवाड़ सिस्टम ऑफ रॉक्स. यहाँ पे जो रॉक सिस्टम अंडरलेइंग रॉक सिस्टम है उसको प्लेटू का एक सिस्टम था धारवाड़ सिस्टम, उस पे मानते हैं. और मेनली मिलता क्या है? कॉपर. खेतरी माइंस इन राजस्थान इज फेमस फॉर कॉपर. जिंक हैव बीन मेजर मिनरल्स. राजस्थान व्हिच इज रिच इन बिल्डिंग स्टोन्स आल्सो लाइक सैंडस्टोन, ग्रेनाइट, मार्बल, जिप्सम एंड fuller's earth deposits are also extensive. Dolomite and limestone provide raw material for cement industry in Gujarat especially in coastal region of Gujarat. The dolomite is found and the cement industry has developed well. And from one port, its name is Kandla, the industries are also exporting their product of cement to the Middle East countries especially. So Kandla port is there in Gujarat, and from this port the manufacturers of cement can export their cement to Middle East country. So strategically location of these particular cement plants in India in Gujarat are really ideal. Gujarat is known for its petroleum deposits too. You will be knowing that Gujarat and Rajasthan both have rich sources of salt. Salt deposits रही है. राजस्थान से देखो सांभर लेक है, वहां से जहां भी लेक है, पलायास है, खारा पानी होता है, उससे सॉल्ट ऑब्टेन करते हैं, कॉमन सॉल्ट. गुजरात में भी गांधी जी के बारे में सुना ही है. गांधी जी ने कहां से डांडी मार्च निकाला और कहां जाके तोड़ा और क्यों किया? नमक बनाने के लिए, राइट. सो दीज आर द थ्री मेन रीजन्स वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. द फर्स्ट वाज northeastern plateau region, especially Chota Nagpur, southwestern plateau region in Karnataka, Goa, northwestern in Rajasthan, Gujarat. Now we are going to discuss some of the pockets where minerals are found, like the Himalayan belt is another mineral belt where copper, lead, zinc, cobalt, tungsten are known to occur. पता चला है हिमालयन रीजन में भी बहुत सारे महंगे like copper, lead, zinc, cobalt, tungsten इनका रिजर्व है. They occur on both the eastern and western parts. Assam Valley has mineral oil deposits. Besides, oil resources also found in offshore areas of near Mumbai coast, that is known as Mumbai High. We have discussed already. In the following pages, you will discuss about the spatial pattern of some of the important minerals. We are going to discuss. First, the ferrous minerals. Ferrous mineral means the minerals which contain iron in them. Iron ore itself a ferrous mineral. Manganese is also ferrous mineral. Chromite is also a ferrous mineral. Some amount of iron is there in manganese as well as in chromite. So they are called ferrous. Provide a strong base for development of metallurgical industry. Metallurgical धातु बनाने वाली metallurgical industry धातु की है. अभियांत्रिकी बोलते हैं इंजीनियरिंग को, मेटलर्जिकल इंजीनियरिंग, और उद्योगों को बोलते हैं धातु विनिर्माण उद्योग. धातु विनिर्माण उद्योग, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑफ मेटल्स. Our country is well placed in respect of ferrous minerals both in reserves and production. In Asia, we are having the largest reserve of iron ore, and our iron ore are of best quality. There are four type of iron ores. Magnetite, the best quality. Maximum utilized in industry, that is called hematite, and India has magnetite, hematite, that is the super high grade hematite in Belladilla mines of Chhattisgarh. Third is called limonite, fourth is siderite. But in India, the two best quality, the number one magnetite and number two highly utilized in industry, that is the hematite. Magnetite and hematite both are available in our country, so we are rich in this perspective. Ferrous minerals are available in bulk. We are going to discuss first about the iron ore. India is endowed with fairly abundant resource of iron ore. As I told you, we are the richest country in this reserves of iron ore. It has the largest reserve of iron ore in Asia, no doubt. The two main types of iron ore found in the country are hematite and magnetite. Magnetite is the best quality. It has great demand in international market due to superior quality. And what the hematite we are having, it is super high grade hematite. And the iron ore mines occur in close proximity to coal fields in northeastern plateau region, and because of that advantage we have discussed on part, iron and steel plants has developed over there. About 95% of total reserve of iron ore is located in states of Odisha. देखो 95% टोटल रिजर्व का 95% लगभग कहाँ पे मिलता है? उड़ीसा में, झारखंड में, छत्तीसगढ़ में, कर्नाटका में, गोवा में, तेलंगाना, आंध्र प्रदेश, तमिलनाडु में. In Odisha, iron ore occurs in a series of hill range in Sundargarh, Mayurbhanj, Jhar district, etc. And the important mines of in Odisha is the Guru Mahisani. जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट माइन है आयरन ओर की उड़ीसा में, उसका नाम है गुरु महिसानी. इसके अलावा सुलाईपट, बादाम पहाड़, किरुगुरु, बहुत सारे रेंजेस हैं. आपको ये सब रेंजेस जो डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया गया है इसमें से बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल आपको याद करना होगा. झारखंड has some of the oldest iron ore mines and most of the iron steel are located around them. Most of the important mines such as नोवामुंडी एंड गोवा, ये बहुत फेमस माइन है. कहाँ की? झारखंड की. नोवामुंडी एंड गोवा लोकेटेड इन पूर्वी एंड पश्चिमी सिंहभूम डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ झारखंड. दिस बेल्ट एक्सटेंड टू दुर्ग, दंतेवाड़ा एंड बेलाडीला. दुर्ग, दंतेवाड़ा और बेलाडीला ये कहाँ पे है? छत्तीसगढ़ में. डल्ली एंड रजहरा in Durg are important mines for iron ore in the country. You know that भिलाई, दुर्ग में भिलाई है. भिलाई जो शहर है, भिलाई किस लिए बना? आयरन और स्टील प्रोडक्शन के लिए. वहां इंडस्ट्री लगाएगी और धीरे धीरे भिलाई शहर आया. लेकिन मेन डिस्ट्रिक्ट का नाम क्या है? दुर्ग. In Karnataka, iron ore deposits occur in Sandur Hospet area. Simple name Bellary, Baba Budan Hills, and one name you must know, कुद्रेमुख. कुद्रेमुख में 100% मैग्नेटाइट मिलता है और ये 100% एक्सपोर्ट यूनिट है. यहां से सारे ओर को एक्सपोर्ट कर दिया जाता है. पार्ट्स ऑफ शिमोगा, चित्रदुर्ग, तुमकुरु और सारे बहुत सारे एरियाज में मिलते हैं. इसके अलावा द डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ चंद्रपुर, भंडारा, रत्नागिरी इन महाराष्ट्र. रत्नागिरी से लेकर पूरा गोवा तक का एक बेल्ट है. करीमनगर एंड वारंगल ऑफ तेलंगाना, कुर्नूल कुडप्पा इन आंध्र प्रदेश, सलेम एंड नीलगिरीज इन तमिलनाडु आर द अदर आयरन mining regions. Goa has also emerged as important producer of iron ore, but most of the iron ore produced in our country we are consuming, no doubt we are making still a final product, but maximum ore we are supplying or we are exporting to the countries like Japan, South Korea and the European nations. Second, we are going to discuss about the manganese. Manganese is an important raw material for smelting of iron ore. Yes, iron ore जब iron steel इंडस्ट्री बनती है उसमें ब्लास्ट फर्नेस बनते हैं या कहीं कहीं इलेक्ट्रिक फर्नेस. ब्लास्ट फर्नेस या इलेक्ट्रिक फर्नेस को हम लोग जनरली भट्टी बोलते हैं. तो क्या क्या चीज मिलाया जाता है आयरन और के साथ? कोल, मैंगनीज, डोलोमाइट, ये सब मिला के एज ए फ्लक्स मटेरियल इसको भट्टी में डाला जाता है और आग लगा दिया जाता है. कोयला जलता है, हीटिंग करता है. डोलोमाइट बहुत सारा हीटिंग कर लेती है अपना, और इस हीटिंग की वजह से जो आयरन और है पिघल के लिक्विड वे में पोरिंग आउट होते हुए भट्टी से बाहर निकलता है. फिर इसको प्यूरिफाई करते हैं, कार्बोनेट करते हैं, बहुत सारा प्रोसेस करते हैं, तब जाके हमको स्टील मिलता है. So manganese is an important for making 1 ton of steel. At least 10 kilogram of manganese is required. So raw material for smelting of iron ore and also used as manufacturing ferroalloys. Manganese deposits are found in almost all geological formation. खास करके सुंदरगढ़ उड़ीसा फेमस है इसके लिए. उड़ीसा में बहुत सारा मैग्नीज माइंस है, कुरुगुरु में है, इसके अलावा कोरापुट में है, बहुत सारे एरियाज में है. Odisha is the leading producer of manganese, and the major mines I have told you they are in Bonai, Kendujhar, Sundargarh, Gangpur, Koraput, Kalahandi, and Bolangir. So up to manganese we have discussed today. I hope you have enjoyed the class today. Next class we will meet the further contents, and I am advising once again to you, please go through the contents of your book. One by one we will discuss each and every part of the lesson, and then after you will feel that it is very easy to prepare. Thank you. Have a nice day.